This book, for certain people, if you pick this up and read it, will be a slap in the face.
The courage to be happy also includes the courage to be disliked. When you have gained that courage, your interpersonal relationships will all at once change to things of lightness.
Having simple tasks, things that should be done, while continually coming up with various reasons why one can't do them, sounds like a hard way to live, doesn't it?
As long as you don't lose sight of the guiding star, which is I contribute to others, you will not lose your way and can do whatever you like, whether you are disliked or not. You pay it no mind and live free.
Instead of thinking about what others can do for me, I want to think about and put in practice what I can do for other people. Just by having that feeling of contribution will take on a completely different hue. Welcome to The Power of Pages, where we review books that ignite your mind,
Elevate your life.
and drive your ambition. And I go by Ty.
I'm Mr. Fly.
And this episode, we are reviewing The Courage to be Disliked.
Yes.
This was your pick.
Yes.
And I firstly want to ask you, is it what you expected?
That's a good question. I didn't even know what to expect,
Okay.
to be fair. But going by the title, no, actually. Going by the title, I thought this would be like a sort of book talking about, you know, being confident. And it kind of does, but not in the way it was delivered.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll get into it now, not in the way it was delivered. Funny enough, the person that recommended this book to me is like a young, he's not that young anymore, but, you know, I've known him since he was maybe 6 or 7. He's now in his 20s. And he's not a reader.
Okay.
So now what typically happens, obviously, when people start reading or they read it, they tell me about it, which is great. And he was like, oh yeah, like, I'm reading this book. And I was like, okay, what's it called? And he's like, The Courage to be Disliked. So even knowing his personality, I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, okay.
And then I remembered my wife actually got this book years ago. And I've seen it I didn't know at the time, but when I went to buy it online and I saw the cover, I was like, nah, I've got this book in my house. I was like, I know she hasn't read it. So yeah, I was like, okay. I said, yeah, I'm going to read it. I said, yeah, I'll read it. And I'll send you, we'll talk about it as well.
Did the young person enjoy
I haven't
it?
checked. He was enjoying it at the time.
Okay.
This was during December when I spoke to him. So I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check up on you. But I said, yeah, you need to finish it because obviously I said I'm not gonna read it until next year. This was December, like early December, before Christmas. So was it what I expected? No, I didn't really know what to expect. But I thought it would be sort of like I don't like this phrase, but like a self-help book.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you,
Yeah,
was it what you expected?
It's not what I expected. I thought it would have more like actions and points to like step 1.
Yeah.
This is how you reframe your mind so that you're courageous in being disliked. And here's a story of this person.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't. Basically, the book is a conversation between a philosopher and a young person.
Yes.
And that's the whole book.
Yes.
And they're talking about different aspects of life.
Yes.
Throughout the book.
Yes. Based around, so the philosopher is obviously a philosopher, and they live their life according to Alderian psychology. So Adler, they refer to Adler, or the philosopher.
Alderian. Is it Alderian?
Adler.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Alderian, I think. But so they kind of, the philosopher lives his life according to that philosophy, which I think I might have missed it because I didn't read the introduction, but they didn't actually introduce what that was.
No. Yeah.
So I had to find out what it was because I was like, what is this? Do you know what I mean? I need to, I'm a Christian, so I was like, I need to check to see what this is about. Like,
and then it was in contrast to the Aetiology theory, which again doesn't explain it in the book, but it's about the cause and effect. Because this happened, this is the effect of this. Where actually he challenges that, and it's just because this cause happened, it doesn't mean this effect.
Yes.
Essentially, that you can create the effect from the cause. Yeah, just because your mum was horrible to you, it doesn't mean that you now need to grow up being a sad person.
Yes.
That's kind of his philosophy.
Yeah.
Whereas the Aetiology philosophy, it says, oh, my mum was horrible to me. That has caused me to be a sad adult,
Yeah.
for example.
Which I agree with. The thing is that what that allows you to do is it gives you an excuse. It gives you a way out. It gives you a get out of jail free card. This happened to me, so this.
Yeah.
I'm powerless in this situation. This happened, so this is the outcome. Poor me. And everyone should be like, oh, we feel so sorry for you. And listen, people go through things and stuff like that, but I don't agree with that. Like, I think there's lots of different outcomes that could happen from any situation. Thinking in bets, obviously, going back to that, and this is in reverse because it's the hindsight theory or hindsight bias, where you look back, and I was actually talking to someone about this the other day. You look back on a situation and, oh, if that had happened, this would have happened. Or if this didn't happen, this wouldn't have happened, or this would have happened. Hindsight bias that, oh, if I'd only made that one decision in whatever way, life would be great or whatever. But the reality of the situation is that's not the case. The reality of the situation is there's 1,000,001 different outcomes that could have happened from that. So we just we have a bias that things would go in one line, but there's 1,000,000 lines that it could have gone through. So again, that sort of, it's funny, we're talking about etiology, about Alderian, but yeah, I think that backs that up as well. So just for a bit of clarity, I had to look into Alderian psychology just a little bit, and it lines up with the book as you would expect. So it says Alderian psychology, or individual psychology, is a holistic, goal-orientated and positive therapeutic approach developed by Alfred Adler. It emphasizes that behavior is motivated by a desire to overcome feelings of inferiority, a drive for superiority, personal growth, and a need for belonging, focusing heavily on social interest, birth order, and early life experiences. Mm-hmm. So I think that's just what it is. It's a bit long-winded, but that's what Alderian. So when he refers to Alderian psychology in the book and Alfred Adler, that is what Alfred Adler stood for, and what he believed.
I think this book, for certain people, if you pick this up and read it, will be a slap in the face. I think it will, because the young person is talking to the philosopher, and the young person essentially is coming up with these excuses about why they're sad, why their life is negative in this way, and the philosopher is essentially, in a nice and respectful way, slapping him in the face.
Respectfully.
Here's why you need to stop feeling sorry for yourself. Pat.
Hold that. Firm that.
And I guess we'll come on to some of the topics and the key points that he says, because some of the headlines are controversial, maybe is the right word. So I'll give one, for example. Trauma does not exist. Now, that is a bold statement. And to think, if you're going through trauma and you're experiencing, what are you talking about?
Someone tells you.
But this is what he says. So the youth talks about his friend who was abused as a child and stays in his room. So, he stays in a room. The philosopher argues that he is choosing to live life this way. And here's the quote he says: "Your life is not something that someone gives you, but something you choose yourself." And he argues that the boy who experienced trauma is choosing to stay in the room because of the traumatic childhood that he had.
He says that the philosopher believes that the friend does not want to go outside, so he has created the symptoms that make it so he cannot go out. Do you see what I mean? So it's very debate. It's what's the word I'm looking? It's prickly. Like people are gonna have no one's gonna be nonchalant towards those sort of remarks. It's divisive. That's what I was trying to say. But my response to that, I low-key agree to some degree, and this is why I low-key agree. Or I can definitely see where he's coming from, because I'm not trying to dismiss anyone's trauma. But we have to be real, and we know that different people respond to things differently. So, and I'm talking from my own personal experience, right? I've worked with a lot of young people, and some young people I've worked with have gone through the worst, like relatively the worst, and like they've gone through really bad things. Okay. and they've had really bad upbringings. However, as an adult, you wouldn't necessarily know. You wouldn't know. So I can think of an example, and I'm not going to go into it, but there's a young person that I worked with, and he had a very bad upbringing, was out of the house, this homeless and stuff like that, at a very young age, it's a primary school age, came into school, you wouldn't even know what he was going through. Another young person who again had some trauma, nothing on the level of what this other boy had, and at school was really hard time at school. You know, really hard time because of their response to it. So we call it the trauma response that they had, right? Mm-hmm. So this is two people with both have trauma, but the outcomes are played out differently. Yeah. So I can see where he's coming from. Yeah. Because people go through things, and it doesn't mean A doesn't always equal B in that sense. It doesn't mean that this is going to happen. Yeah. There are definitely pointers and indicators that it might do, but it's not a necessity. But what I think that the thing here that is going to cause some sort of conflict, shall we say, is the fact that he's saying it's a choice. Yes. That you're choosing to. That's what's going to divide people, divide people's opinions. Yeah. And he essentially says you're choosing to live the way that you live. What do you think? I think it's nuanced. What I think is that it has an impact on your life, but how you choose to let it have the impact is up to you. But it's not easy. Because you can choose to be happy and positive and think, right, I'm not going to let that dictate who I am if you experience a traumatic situation. But then if something similar happens again, you might automatically return to your like an innate response because of it. Mm-hmm. So I definitely agree that you can choose your actions and your attitude. You can choose your attitude, but it's not easy. And I think that's the difficult part, the part that maybe is missed. It's possible, and you can choose your attitude. But, can we go deeper? Yeah, let's go on. Let's do it. I don't even think it's that simple, because I think, and talking from maybe a bit of personal experience, and also and watching experiences, you can realize that I'm traumatized, or I have trauma, and I'm acting in this way, and that no level of positive thinking is going to get me through this. No level of positive affirmations is going to get me through this. I need therapy. I need help. Do you know what I mean? And I need counselling. I need to talk to someone. I need help. Basically. No, I'm being real with you. I'm being real with you. Like, I need help to get me through this, because I can't do it on my own. Yeah. So therefore you're now taking control of the situation, because, you know, we get to, especially like as men, maybe like you get, you know, we can help ourselves to a point, but at some point, you know, and it even goes into here, the serenity prayer, which is further down the line, which is used, you know, we spoke about this before in another pod, like about the stoicism, I think. Yeah. And I spoke about it, and some people reached out to me that have, you know, because they use it in AA and stuff like that. So, but the point I'm making is, you need to recognize, the way you can take control of the situation is recognizing that, okay, this is how I respond, and I've got this trauma that I'm dealing with. I need to work myself through this trauma. Yeah. Because, you know, otherwise, look, man, people go down other ways to deal with the trauma. Yeah. Again, let's be real. So then again, that's you or whoever choosing their attitude towards a positive outcome. Yeah. It might not be, all right, positive thinking. It might be, right, I need to go to the doctors. Yeah. I need therapy, like you said. So then what you're saying is, he's right, is you can choose. Yeah, it's not easy though. But I guess the headline he says was trauma does not exist. Yeah, that's, which is that's I don't know. You know why? Because he says the reason why he says that is, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's saying the past doesn't exist. Like, it's happened. So he disregards they disregard the past. It's just the now, essentially. Yeah, it's just the here and now. So that's why I would think, again, I don't remember specifically. It's not like he said that, but according to like the philosophy and the psychology, the past, and if you've read the book and you disagree with me, I'm happy to be proved wrong on this, but the reason why I think he's saying that is because the past doesn't exist. The past doesn't matter. Like, move on. So move on from it, sort of thing. It's very hard lined. Yeah. But this is the boundaries. But I agree with you. I think it's nuanced. I'm not going to say that trauma doesn't exist. I can't agree with that.
But what I do like is that he's challenging it and he's kind of saying, no, like, get out the room. Like, your friend's in his room.
Yeah.
Like, he's letting his past dictate his future. No, get your friend out the room.
Yeah.
You know, go whatever, go to the gym or whatever. Like, he's choosing that. Which then goes on to some of the other headlines that he says, because there's a few that maybe I want to touch on. But people always choose not to change. If your lifestyle is not something you chose yourself, then it must be possible to choose it over again. People can change at any time, regardless of the environments they are in. You are only unable to change because you are making the decision not to. That's what he says. So if you want to change, you're not changing because you're making the decision not to. And
I rock with that.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think what is hard is that it's difficult.
Yeah, but it's still true.
Like,
yeah. That's because it's a decision. You have to take some account. It's accountability, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's accountability. So, yeah, man, you have to change, man. You have to make the decision because depending on whatever situation you're in, you have to get to a point where, and what that change means, it doesn't mean, oh, my life's great. It means, okay, this is where I am. I'm at this level here. I'm at this position. I'm in this situation, whatever it might be. I need to move. I need to change.
Yeah.
So
I need
you
to
make
take
that
action.
Yeah.
I think it's not about the
action.
choice.
Yeah.
It's about choosing to take action and do because you can choose, right, I'm going to be a fitter person this year or whatever. Okay. Now what?
No,
all right.
Yeah.
Do your choices reflect that statement? Do your choices, do your actions reflect that? So.
No, look, there's a very important word here. Courage.
Yeah. People
require courage in order to change. You know, I remember like if I go to the gym, so we've got our own gym, Preston Road, 151. But like when I was members of other gyms, if I ever saw someone in there, like I respect, you know, I've seen some people in there that are really out of shape, and I respect the hell out of them because it's an intimidating place. You know, it's an intimidating place. I'm like, wow. When I see that person, I'm like, wow, this person has made the decision to try and change their life around. Obviously, I don't know them. I ignore them. I don't give them any sort of attention because they don't need my attention.
Yeah.
But like, I recognize it and I respect it. And I think it's harder for them to step in because, you know, everyone in the gym, you know, you look around and you see all sorts. You know, even we did High Rocks a little while ago. Yeah. And we saw some older guys doing it, like, and I rate that. I rate that more than I rate that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that courage to go into the gym as if you're superior out of weight and out of shape, and overweight or whatever the situation might be, to step in or to call a PT or to do whatever you might do, to go back to school, you know, to go back and study, whatever it might be. It takes courage because it's easier to just to stay in your situation and then blame exterior. Oh, because of this or because of that. Yeah. No, man, taking accountability and taking charge of your own life. Like, why wouldn't you want to?
And I want to give the viewers that are thinking about this and think about, oh, maybe I want to change this, I don't want to change that, but I'm not taking action. I want to give you a slap in the face.
Jeez.
Yeah?
Backhand,
with words.
Backhand. Give the backhand.
But hopefully in a positive way, in a nice and, you know, I want the best for you way. So this is what he says in the book. Having simple tasks, things that should be done, while continually coming up with various reasons why one can't do them, sounds like a hard way to live, doesn't it? I was like, damn. Yeah.
No backhand. Say that again, bro, because I think that needs to sink in.
Okay. Having simple tasks, things that should be done, while continually coming up with various reasons why one can't do them, sounds like a hard way to live, doesn't it?
Damn.
What's up, Power of Pagers? If you've made it this far into the episode, big up yourself. And as a loyal Power of Pager,
we value you. That's why we've created our mailing list to keep you updated on what we're reading, get your input and feedback on books that we should read, and let you know about any behind the scenes events that we may run or be a part of. If you'd like to be an official part of the Power of Pages community, head to the link in the description box and join our free mailing list. You don't want to miss out. But for now, back to the book review, and thanks for being a Power of Pager.
Stop making excuses.
Yeah, facts, yeah.
And living like that, making excuses for yourself. Yeah, that's hard, man. It's like,
yeah.
You know, I can't read my book today because, you know, like,
yeah. No, it's
the
excuses,
room's
man.
too
It's
cold.
excuses. Yeah, it's excuses. Look, and the thing is, yeah, you can come up with 1,000 excuses. It's funny, yeah. My bread, I think he won't mind me saying this story, yeah. So one of my friends, obviously, me and one of my guys, shout out to Nelio, that capoeira guy on Instagram. We go for a run, right? Every Tuesday morning. We meet up about 5:30. We hit the road about 6. And then one of my guys was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm gonna come. Cool." He said he was gonna come in the past, but he hasn't. And like, we just go in it. Like, it's not a hype thing. We meet up and we go. So this Tuesday just gone, I was with my guy on the weekend, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm coming." So we say nothing. This is the time. I'll text you in the morning when I'm leaving my house. He lives near me, so I'll pick him up on the way to the gym, whatnot.
See you
Cool.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
No.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I'll
see you Tuesday. Yeah,
yeah.
say nothing. Yeah. I'll see you on Tuesday. Bosh. Then I get a text from him. I'm getting ready. I get a text saying, "Yo, bro, gonna give it a miss today." So that's enough for me. Like, all right, cool. Like respectfully, I don't care. I do care, but I don't care because I need to run, so I'm going for my run. So respectfully, I'm not gonna try and like, cool, you're not coming, say no more. Then like I see like he's typing, so I'm like, bruv, you've already said enough. Like you're not coming, cool, bro. I'll see you next week if you wanna come next week. And that's fine. That's your reason. So then he texted me saying, "Actually, ignore that. I'm coming." So all right, cool. Say nothing. So now on the run, we're running, we're talking, and that he's like, "Yeah, man." I text Chris saying I'm not coming, and I was about to say to him, "Yeah, man, I had like." Last night I slept, whatever his reason might have been, he slept late or whatever, wasn't feeling well. And I was like, bruv, from the time you said you're not coming, that's enough. I don't care about the reason. You're not coming. But then he was like, oh, no, then I thought, forget that, man, I'm coming because I said I was going to come. Yeah. So, yeah, man, he done a good, like, he ran with us. So it's just that, like, you know, the excuse, he was going to give himself an excuse to not come. Yeah. Then he overcame it in his own head because he literally said he's not coming. Yeah. Then he was writing a reason, a big paragraph as to why he wasn't going to come. Then I think as he was writing, he realised this is just waffle, man. I'm awake. Like, let me get myself out of my house. So, yeah, man, it's quite funny.
Yeah. And that happens to people every day. You know, we make excuses for not doing things all the time.
I think,
or not all the time.
Who do you think the excuse is for?
It's for us. It's for ourselves. Because it justifies to ourselves why we don't want to admit to ourselves that we're maybe a failure in that situation, or maybe we're not sticking to our word. So the excuse is for ourselves.
So then do we need to give it to the other person? Because do you care? Do you care? Like, let's say, what do you do? Like, football. Yeah, football. Yeah, you play football, right? So let's say I'm coming football, and then I say to you, I'm not coming because I've had, and then my excuse might be valid. Do you care about the reason?
Nah.
You don't care, innit? Like,
are you coming or not?
Yeah,
like,
you don't care about it. That's the point I'm making. Like, and my excuse might be totally valid. Yeah. But you're not. I'm not coming.
But you said you was coming, and you're not coming. Your excuse is irrelevant.
Yeah, you're not coming.
This is reminding me of what's that book? Relentless.
Yeah, the cleaner.
The cleaner.
The cleaner. Cleaner. But look, I wanna, because I know time's kind of gonna go quick, and I want to see how there's a way. Like, he talks about a lot of different scenarios, but because obviously the title of the book is "The Courage to Be Disliked."
Yes.
So he ties it to, like, he ties everything into this, and this is, I think the title is kind of a bit of a clickbaity title. Yes. Do you know what I mean? But it's a cool title, like, you know, "The Courage to Be Disliked." Again, courage has come up already. So he says here, you don't want to be disliked, but you don't mind if you are. And then the courage to be happy also includes the courage to be disliked. When you have gained that courage, your interpersonal relationships will all at once change to things of lightness. And that sat with me, and I think it's not really, for me, it's not the courage to be disliked, but it's like the courage of not really being too concerned with what people think. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, when you do things or when I do things, obviously I'd like people to accept it or see it in a positive light and rate it to some degree, but I'm not too concerned if they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So the easiest way to say that's like the long way of saying I don't care what people think, but I want them to think the right thoughts, but if they don't, I don't care. So it's not as simple as I don't care, because I think about, when people, a lot of times people come to you and are like, oh, I've got this idea. It's like, yeah, just do it. Like, oh yeah, but people might say, yes, they're going to say it anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that sat with me. And yes, I think that's how we kind of lines it up with the courage to be disliked. So it's not like, because I thought it'd be like, kick down the door. Who cares what people think? Just be yourself. Just push out there, do your thing. But it's like, yeah, you don't want to be disliked, but you don't mind if you are disliked. It's like, well, because I'm justified in what I'm doing, or, I'm.
And I sat with that thought actually, because I don't care what people think that don't matter to me. And when I say don't matter to me, I mean like that aren't in my close circle, because I think I do care what people think that are close to me.
Okay.
Like, I care what you think.
Okay.
I care what my family think. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
But the other, people that are
Can
further
I pause
away.
you? Can I pause you though? All right. Let's say you've got with your business with Love and Life, and you have an idea, and I say to you, T, I don't think that's the right way to go about it. I don't think that's the right way. I don't think you should do that.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I think about it. I guess that doesn't stop me from doing it. If ultimately I've then reevaluated, because I will take your feedback on board. I'll look at it, and then if I still think, oh, actually no, I think this is going to be good for me. Yeah, I'll still do it.
So you don't really. So, all right.
So I value.
You value it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. Now let's say replace me for your mum. If your mum was to say the same thing, what would you do?
Same thing.
Same thing. So that's where it's like, that's the not like you, because you're still gonna do it.
Yeah.
So you don't care. It sounds triggering. Like, it sounds negative. Like, oh, you don't care what I think. But it's like, you don't. But it's not a bad thing. It's like, yeah, I'm giving you my opinion, and I could and that's my opinion. But it doesn't. And that's kind of, I'm kind of talking to myself in a way, because it's like, when I've done things and especially, I'll be real with you. Like, when I first started with FFLY Youth, and I used to put a lot of stuff on social media and stuff like that. And I know I know how people think. Do you know what I'm saying? I know how people think. But I was like, I don't care, because they're going to say something anyway. And then now it's funny because it's come full circle, because, now people are rating it. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's just funny, like, and that's the sort of, I had to be courageous in that moment. Like, Ray, I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there. Even with, like, when you look at people starting, like, there's people that I know that are trying to start their social media journey, and they're doing things online and all this kind of stuff, influencers trying to be and all that kind of stuff. It's like, you know what, big up, man. Because, everyone's easy to poke holes in what you're doing and stuff like that. So going back to yourself, it's like, even people within your inner circle, you take on board what they say and you reason with it. But ultimately, if you think you're right about what you want to do and you're justified in it, you're going to do it anyway. It's not going to stop you. And I know that before even asking you that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if whoever that was, someone that's, whether they're in your inner circle or not in your inner circle. So, and I think that's the
nugget that he's given. Yeah, fair. So I got a question for you and for the viewers, because again, another question that made me think. Do you do positive things for praise, or do you just do them? If nobody gave you recognition, would you still happily do it? And yeah, that's a question for you and the viewers. And I guess it's too complex of an answer.
No,
but go on,
I don't think so. I think praise is nice.
Yeah.
Recognition is nice. But it's funny, a conversation we had earlier today with Dan, this has kind of brought me back to that conversation. It's nice, but it's not the reason I do it, because otherwise you'll do anything, because then that becomes addictive.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're just trying to get praise all the time, you're just going to consistently do things that are so they're not just, no. Yeah. Like, I don't think that's the way that you'll never be truly happy, because you might even compromise your values and yourself for that praise. Because if that's what you're going for, it's the praise. There's a lot of things that are done in the dark. There's good things that you do for people. There's good things that people do that you don't need to charity is not supposed to be shouted about like that. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in that sense. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what about yourself?
No, I think, like you said, appreciation and recognition is nice. It's not the reason that I do things.
Mhm.
And I think that's the key factor, is it shouldn't be the sole reason that you do something. You shouldn't be doing something for someone else to like give you a round of applause or to recognize that you've done it. Like, you should be doing it for other reasons, because that ultimately means if that appreciation or recognition doesn't come, then you're going to be annoyed that you did it, or you might be in your feelings, or like you might not then do that same thing again.
You move on.
Yeah.
If you're just searching, I mean, and you see it a lot. You see it a lot, man, with like celebrities and stuff. You know, they align themselves with certain things because it's cool at the time, and then when the cool factor moves on to something else, oh, surprise, surprise, so do they. Do you know what I'm saying? The trend or whatnot. So
and here's a quote that he says, the author says off the back of it: desire for recognition makes you unfree.
yes.
If one is living in such a way as to satisfy other people's expectations, and one is entrusting one's life to others, that is a way of living in which one is lying to oneself and continuing that lying to include the people around one.
But I think it's quite not to everyone, but people's motives become clear over time, and you can sort of, you know, you get to see what you can see eventually. The proof, you judge a tree by its fruits. Do you get what I'm saying? So you see, it becomes clear over time, man. I think because again, if they're jumping from this to this to this to this to this to this, it's like, bro, what do you even stand for? Like sometimes I even respect someone, like if I might even agree with them, but I see how much you believe in what you're talking about, so I respect that. I might not. Do you get me? Do you get what I'm saying?
Like that Terence Crawford clip. Did you see it? That went.
Bro,
maybe we'll put it in if we won't get copyright strike or
now everybody knows your character.
But yeah,
that was deep.
What is the bar you said?
Not everybody knows your character. Basically, he was talking about they were trying to influence Terence Crawford. Not asking, would you come back to fight? He's like, nah, I've done everything I need to do. I've made all the money. I'm cool. And then the guy, I don't know how it got into like selling your soul. He's like, oh, would you? He said it in jest, like, oh, you know, would you sell your soul? 100 million, I'll sell my soul. And then Terence, because Terence is a G, was like, well, now everybody knows your character. Oof.
Yeah, that hit hard, and you see the guy's face.
Yeah. Because even when people was joking, I don't think it was joking. Anyway, who cares?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's quite poignant. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Were there any other?
Yeah, there was quite a few, man. There was quite a few. I mean, there was a bit in here when he was talking about. So they talk very much about I, and I remember because I did philosophy in college. So in that, the I is very powerful. Like, it represents so much. Like, I can't even explain it properly, but if you're interested in philosophy, look into that. And it talks about, then it goes on to like being contributing to society, contributing to your community. And I know this is why volunteers, there's a lot of volunteers, you know, people, so it talks about a dad that is, his works equal his love or something, like basically, oh, you know, I do this and this defines me. But once you take away all those works, who are you?
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So it's so deep, man. It's actually quite deep. It's hard to explain, but we shouldn't really equate ourselves to our works, essentially.
Yes.
Just because you do this, that, and that, it shouldn't define who you are. Then also another thing that I liked about was talking about going back to the volunteering side. Like, when you're unemployed, and if you've been unemployed for a long time, and there's studies, and I know about this. This is a thing. It affects your self-esteem and your character, because you feel like you're taking, especially in UK, if you're on like universal credit a lot, and you know you feel like you're taking. No shade to anyone like that, but you feel like you're taking from society. You know, you want to be part of contributing to society. So having a job is more than just having a job and going to work every day. It's like, I'm actually contributing to my community. Contributing. Did you say anything about that?
No, I didn't write it down.
So yeah, so that was that bit was quite cool, because I was like, yeah, I get it, and I've seen it. You know, we work with a lot of people in the job centre and stuff, and even having that purpose, having to come in every day and do your training and do that, so you can get into a job, so you can volunteer, so you can even, and it goes, that's one side of the spectrum, but you've got the other side of the spectrum where people that are super wealthy that don't even need to work because they can't work for money, but they go and do a lot of volunteering, or they go and they do a lot of philanthropy and stuff like that, because they need a purpose. They need to also feel like, I'm contributing. Because otherwise, okay, I've got all this money, it's all great, I can go on holidays, I can drive cars, I can do all that other stuff, but I'm just here. What's my life about? What's my purpose? So again, when you take away the works, or you take away the acts of what you're doing, whether that might be on the unemployed side or the super rich side with no drive and no ambition, you need to have some sort of contributing factor to society. So that was quite cool.
Yeah. Don't attach yourself to something, because don't let something define you by attaching yourself to it. Because then if that thing disappears, then you now are lost. Essentially.
Yes.
And
I think like, how does that relate to you as a person?
I think, I don't attach myself to certain things. I think maybe in the past you do, as you build but for example, my business has changed over the years. If I was attached to certain aspects of it, it's like I've actually closed down sections of the business because I don't want to do it anymore. So I feel that I can not be attached to certain things, and also feel that actually, because I do so much and lots of different things, I'm not then attached to one. Because if one thing did disappear, then there are other things that I also do that are attached to me. If that makes sense.
No, definitely. I think because it's like, let's say you sold your business. Like, whenever that day comes, if it comes, I feel like it wouldn't really impact you. Like you still, because there's stuff you do, like your business doesn't define you essentially. Do you know what I mean? So like it's deep. The book, it's funny because the way the conversation goes, it's a dialogue. It's a consistent dialogue, and there is a bit of summarization, and they do sort of like have their fallouts. It's written in a funny way, but like they do have sort of disagreements through. But the philosopher kind of has a consistent, calm, mellow way of speaking and explaining their point. And the young person, being a young person, the way it's the author's written it, or the two authors have written it, is like, they're quite emotional, quite erratic, they get frustrated and stuff like that. So but
the last thing that I wanted to touch on before we come on to the power was the title "Young People Walk Ahead of Adults." So I want to give this scenario from the book. So it says, imagine this. It's after dinner at home and there are still dishes left on the table. The children have gone to their rooms and the husband is sitting on the sofa watching the TV. It's been left to the wife to do the dishes. To make matters worse, the family take it for granted and don't make any effort to help. Normally, one would think, why won't they give me a hand? Why do I have to do all the hard work? Why am I the one washing the dishes?
Mario Balotelli, why always me?
Why always me? These bloody kids, my husband's sitting on the sofa, or vice versa, the wife or whatever, they're sitting on the sofa. And the book challenges you. Instead of thinking about what others can do for me, I want to think about and put in practice what I can do for other people. Just by having that feeling of contribution will take on a completely different hue. So just by switching your mindset to thinking, why can't they help me, to by washing the dishes, I'm helping support my family and looking after my household. Your mindset change, like that's a completely different angle. And then he also says, if I'm grumbling to myself as I wash dishes, I'm probably not much fun to be around. If I'm humming away to myself and washing dishes in good spirits, the children might come and give me a hand. At the very least, I'd be creating an atmosphere which is easier for them to offer their help. If mum's vexed washing dishes, stay away from mum. Or dad's vexed washing the dishes, stay away from dad. Or whoever's vexed, let's stay away from them. If they're happy, what are you singing? What are you singing, dad? What are you singing, mum?
It's inviting.
Can I help? Like, maybe. You're just creating a space for it.
I want to be part of the energy. I want to be part of the vibes.
Exactly. So it's like, instead of thinking about me, like, no one helps me, it's like, actually, by doing this, I'm contributing. Like, this is, I'm creating a clean house for my family.
Yeah. It's the get tos to the have tos. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I have to wash you change that have to, like, I have to stay and wash the dishes, because if I don't do it, nobody will do it. These kids, this husband, this, that, to the, right, I get to look after my family, I get to do this. So it's that perspective, it's that mindset shift. That's interesting, and I think it's true. It's easy to say though.
It's easy to
I mean, it's easy to say though. But because like if you're doing that every day, you're gonna hit a boiling point and stuff like that. But that's a deeper one. But yeah, I get it.
Yes, and you might hit a boiling point, but you might, like I said, this book challenges you to reframe that, because if now you've now reframed that to, actually, I'm providing for my family, I'm supporting my family. That is a motivation to keep you going. But it's switching it and staying in that next mindset. What is the power for you of this book?
Okay. Two points, if I may.
You may.
Boss. Imagine on the last episode, I found out Tyler's my boss. Man, I didn't even know. Didn't read the small print. But yeah. So I spoke a little bit earlier about the serenity prayer. So it says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to always tell the difference. Like, so that is sort of like empowering, because you accept what you can change and you change what you can change. And there are, oh man, I don't want to get too deep in it, but like I was speaking to a young person the other day. When I say young, like he's in his 20s, about all the stuff that's going on in the world that we know that's in the media a lot. And he didn't sleep that night. Like out him and his friend, they didn't sleep, and they were like really stressed out about this. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, and that made me think. I thought to myself, Ray, am I deep in this enough? Maybe I'm not taking this seriously enough. But then, I thought about it a bit more and whatever. But the point I'm making is, unfortunately, the world is the world, and there's some things you can change and there's some things you can't change. And the things you can change, it's your duty too, and do, that's your duty. So, and that prayer sort of moves you towards, and that prayer has helped a lot of people get out of addiction and really sad parts of their lives. And I think we just need to kind of deep it in, accept what I can and can't change, and give the rest to God. Do you know what I mean? So that's one part, but another part of it.
And I guess just to
go for it.
Jump in, that's more of a reminder for you, because you know that serenity prayer already. Yeah. Like, so just in terms of the power, maybe you haven't thought about it for a long time.
No, yeah.
So that's maybe more of a reminder. I can't remember what book mentioned it, but
it's the Stoic, the book about Stoicism. I mean, I know it. I kind of, I've me personally, when I'm going through something, there comes a point in me. I don't get there straight away, but I get to a point where I'm like, you know what, God, I've done the most I can. So whatever you want to happen is gonna happen. I'm here. All I'm gonna do is try my best, but I realize I don't have the control. So whatever. That's me. I get to that point. Things that are going on, business, life. That's where I always come to, and that's me. But then the next part of it is and I think this is what the whole Alderian psychology is about in total. And it's like, as long as you don't lose sight of the guiding star, which is I contribute to others. That's very important. I contribute to others. You will not lose your way, and can do whatever you like, whether you are disliked or not. You pay it no mind and live free. So if I change, the world will change. And I think that's very powerful, empowering, but also some people, it's easier to blame everyone else, because then you don't have, it's not your fault. You're a victim mindset. So, I mean, I've gone on for a long enough, but yeah, sorry, very long answer.
Yeah, okay. I think the power for me is thinking of things or framing things in the way of how this helps me contribute to society. Maybe things that I don't want to do or I don't like doing, how that helps me contribute to society or to family or to relationships. Community. Yeah, in general. So I think that's the power for me. Like, rather than looking at things from this is a task, it's how this task is helping me contribute. I think I love that way of phrasing it. So yeah, difficulty rating. Your book. You go first.
Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I struggled with this book, man. I only finished it this morning. Yeah, I didn't enjoy the read. Was it difficult? It was, man. It was because it's a long conversation. When it first started, I kind of liked the style, and then it kind of just. It's a long drawn out conversation, 267 pages to be precise. But I found it quite difficult, man. Like, free, to be fair, not because free.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. I gave it a 2.5 in difficulty because it's a drawn out conversation. It's the the segments are like kind of small. The paragraphs are the conversation's small. It's easy to read in that sense, but because it's so drawn out, it's more challenging to read in that sense. So yeah, I'll give it a 2.5. Star rating. This
is where now, because I was saying to my missus, I was like, yeah, I don't like this book. I was even asked her, I said, why did you buy this? Because like I said, I haven't read it. I think it's quite a famous book. It's quite well known apparently.
And like I said, this book will give you that pat. This book will give I'd recommend this book.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's your turn.
I'm gonna give it a 3. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna give it a 2 before the chat, but I can't sleep on it. But the start, I just felt anyway. Yeah. 3, man. But that's very much so because of the conversation. It was definitely gonna get a 2 before we spoke.
Okay. This book has some gems, man, and this book will be so valuable to someone who wants more courage and wants more confidence and wants to be challenged in maybe negative mindset or negative thinking.
Quite freeing.
It's quite
liberating.
Liberating,
yeah, it's quite emancipating.
But I say all that to say I didn't love it. At the beginning, I thought, okay, I might get into this book. Same. And then it dragged on. Like, it just felt like a drag, to be honest. And I wanted to give it a 3, but I felt like I can't. So I've given it a 2.75.
You're ridiculous. No. You want to give it 2.999. 2.99999.
Yeah, 2.75 because it just can't get a 3 from me. But it also can't be a 2.5 or a 2. Like, yeah.
Where do we draw the line?
At 0.5.
Okay, at 0.75s, yeah?
Yeah, at 0.75. Okay. That's the line.
Right, cool. No, that's fair. To be fair, I agree with you. Not with the number. I mean, I gave it a 3, but I agree with you. The exact same way as how you felt. It's exactly how I felt. When it started, literally, I can't even improve on what you said.
What do you think the viewers would like following this episode in terms of the books that we've reviewed that would be maybe similar to this or, challenging mindset?
You know what? Maybe the Stoic book.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's quite far back, though.
It's quite far back. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
I thought Relentless only because of the slap. The pat.
Nah, then if you're going on that vein, I'm saying Goggins, bro.
Okay.
Can't hurt me. Because that's like in the flesh. That's literally Goggins is the emancipation is the product of this sort of thing.
Yeah.
David Goggins' story is a sense, in that sense. So yeah, the Relentless.
Okay, Goggins. Let's go with Goggins because that was a good review.
Yeah.
I think we reviewed it on Zoom, so the quality is not going to be as high tech as this, but just bear with us and check it out. And remember, press the like button, support the thing, support the power of pages. And next episode, we are reviewing the book you wish your parents had read. And I picked it. We'll get into it in the next episode. But if you want to join us along the journey, pick that up. The link's in the description box. This is the power of pages.
And we review books.